He got on. It was a debut to forget. Early in the second, Jonathan Bender goes right over the big guy for the lane. And later in the second, Ming tries to go round Jeff Foster, but Foster strips him of the ball. He went scoreless in the first half. Third quarter, Pacers up 1. Steve Francis drives and sinks the layup. Now Pacers by 4. And off the steal, the Pacers, Al Harrington throws the alley-oop to Jermaine O'Neal. Here's Ming again. Drawing a foul on the play. He would be scoreless all night, getting no points, only 2 rebounds, and incurring 3 fouls in just 11 minutes on court, as the Pacers won 91-82. And that's how it ended. Yeah, I wasn't the only man to have a tepid season opener, though. That was Michael Jordan with a less than stellar start for the Washington Wizards. In contrast to Air Jordan, Air Canada had a much happier night. Vince Carter with 2 of his 18 points there. And this is how bad it got for Jordan at the start of his 15th season in the league. The slam dunk chances like this are usually put away, but not this time. The miss contributing to a 74-68 Washington defeat. We head to break with some more NBA scores. Hawks was a prime example. Richard Jefferson of the Nets needing Jason Kidd. A Hawks turnover and 2 goes at the slam dunk to get the ball to go down. If at first you don't succeed, as the saying goes, the nettings against the Portland Trail Blazers in the NBA, and it was a good decision. Vlade Divac finding him here with a no-looker for the lane. Kings by 5. Second quarter, now Kings by 8. Seconds left. Predrag Stojakovic gets the long-distance 3-pointer to go. That's Kings by 11 at the half. Into the third coming up. Still Kings by 11. Rasheed Wallace of the Blazers misses the dunk, hangs on the rim and gets an interference call. Kings ran away with it by the fourth quarter. They're up 22 now when Bobby Jackson gets on the end of this, sinks the bucket, draws the foul for the 3-point play. 172 Kings it ended. NBA's #1 draft pick, Yao Ming, looked to make amends in Game 2, and though we haven't got time to show you the whole game, there are his only 2 baskets of the night, which broke his duck in an 83-74 Rockets victory.
This game against Toronto. Bad news for the Raptors as Vince Carter pulls up lame. After Cuttino Mobley hits a shot, Carter would leave the game with a strained right knee, did not return. Later in the first quarter, Yao with a nice up and under move gets the bucket to go. In the second, it's Steve Francis hooking up with Cuttino Mobley for the alley-oop slam. Houston up 11 at the half, and they would go on to win by 12. Yao finished with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 block, his best outing of the season so far. To Memphis, where the Grizzlies could not yet find their first win of the season. They went down to Peja Stojakovic and the Sacramento Kings. Pau Gasol came out to play, though, the Spaniard with 20 points and 7 rebounds. Gets the tough putback to go here. Second quarter, all the Kings men getting it done. Off the steal, Damon Jones ahead to Gerald Wallace for the huge slam. Wallace then working the pick and roll with Hiddo Turkoglu, who drops in the 3 ball, and then later it's Bobby Jackson who gets the easy lay-in. The Kings up already at halftime. More from Sacramento in the second half, and they get fancy. Vlade Divac, look at the pass off the backboard for Keon Clark. Clark does it on the ground a bit later. Goes baseline and then elevates for the nice slam over Jamal Swift. Finally, it's Vlade with the nice dish to Jackson for the lane. Vlade with a nice night, 24 points, 9 assists. Quick guard Nick Van Exel with the ball, and yes, he's scoring from half court. Off the backboard, Nick the Quick with a slick shot, helping the Mavs to a victory and getting the World Sport play of the day.
Duel. 1 minute remaining in the game. Blazers by 2. Kobe Bryant feeds it to Brian Shaw. Hits the game-tying jumper, ties it at 81. 4 seconds remaining. Lakers by 2. Derek Anderson needs a 2-pointer, a 3-pointer to win it, 2-pointer to tie. Anderson inside the line. It's good. We're going to overtime. Tied at 85. Can you believe it? In overtime, the Lakers by 2. Bryant driving. He's so dangerous. Dumps it off to Devin George for the layup and foul. He missed the free throw. George has really stepped up his game. The Lakers by 4. Later in overtime, the Lakers extending their lead. Bryant had 12 assists, feeding a wide-open Shaw for a 3-pointer. Oh, this game is done, right? Well, whoa. The Blazers came back to cut it to 1 from a 7-point lead there. Bryant, again, dangerous, had 33 points. You got to guard him when he drives to the hole. Layup for a 3-point lead. Kobe Bryant, his second straight triple-double, and the Lakers up by 3. Blazers' last chance to tie it. Need a 3. Scottie Pippen, no good. The Lakers win by a final of 98-95. We'll be back right after this. Early on, Kevin Garnett with the steal. At the other end, the finger roll. He led Minnesota with 23 points, but the Nets have been winning this year with their defense. Later in the first, Kenyon Martin, the steal. Kenyon Martin wide open. Of course, he's going to dunk it. It's a 25-22 lead for the Nets. Jason Kidd, great pass to Richard Jefferson. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. The second-year pro is turning into a very nice player. And then Kidd again, one of his 10 assists. This one to Martin for the dunk. Third quarter, Kidd grabs a loose ball. Who are you going to get it to? Look at Richard Jefferson breaking out. Richard Jefferson, 22 points for the Nets as they remain unbeaten. They are now within a victory of their best start ever. Speaking of streaks, Jerry West was hoping the Grizzlies could end a couple against the Spurs. Spurs rookie Italian sensation Emmanuel Ginobili looking very good. The behind-the-back pass to Frenchman Tony Parker for 3, and then Ginobili knifing through the defense. The reverse layup past Spaniard Pau Gasol. What is this? The NBA or the World Basketball Association? Spurs up 89-81. Less than a minute left to go in the fourth. Shane Battier. Oh, where did this guy get the jumper? From the top of the key to tie it at 90 and go to overtime. In OT, it's Jason Williams coming out firing. Jay Will. I tell you what, when this guy gets hot, you've got to find a way to stop him. Burying the J and then firing the 3-point bomb. Grizzlies by 7. Less than 30 seconds to go. Memphis, a 2-point lead. Tim Duncan, though. Can he do it by himself? No. Why not dish it to Steve Kerr? And you know he's good from that range. Ties it at 101. The Spurs get it back with a chance to win it. Who do you get it to? Inside to Tim Duncan. The turnaround for the win over Gasol, and that is it. 29 for Duncan, and the Spurs take it 103-101. The Grizzlies still winless.
Double as the LA Lakers played in Cleveland. Bryant gets the ball. He's blocked on the first attempt, but picks up the loose ball and hits the tough fadeaway jumper. A little later, at the other end, Lithuania's Zadrunas Sagalis gets the no-look pass to Darius Miles for the bucket. Cavaliers with a 5-point lead. Third quarter, more from Bryant. Watch him sky in for the layup, but he is denied and fouled by Darius Miles. A little later, more from Agalis, that man from Lithuania, splitting 2 defenders, hitting 2 of his 23 points of the night. Then Agalis again plays provider. This time the bounce pass to Ricky Davis. Cavs win by 19. Bryant, by the way, finished 1 assist shy of the triple-double.
Their opening day defeat, thanks in part to the efforts of the Argentine rookie Emmanuel Ginobili. A great jam from him here as he goes over Antoine Jameson. Take another look at our play of the day as Ginobili helps the Spurs slam Golden State by 20 points. Forward Gerald Wallace, who powers his way to the basket, and check out the elevation as he slams one in over the New York Knicks. Not enough on the night though, as the Knicks won by 7, but some great athleticism for our play of the day.
And finally, Jason Kidd in the New Jersey Nets faced off against Ray Allen and the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday night in the NBA. Kidd paced New Jersey with 24 points, and 4 other players finished in double figures, but Richard Jefferson, averaging a team-high 17.3 points, was just held to 1. The Nets kept the game close, but ultimately couldn't stop Milwaukee's outside shooting. Allen scoring 29 on the night for the Bucks, while Tony Kukoc added 26. Kukoc's 3-pointer blasting the Bucks to an 11-point lead in the third. The lead remained at least 9 points until the final minutes, and the Nets able to pull closer, but they still went down 99 points to 93.
Toronto Raptors, minus the injured Vince Carter, faced a Dallas Mavericks team that was one of only 3 unbeaten teams in the league Wednesday night. Jerome Williams with the one-hand slam to cut the Mavs lead to 3 in the second. To the third quarter, Mavs by 6. But here come the Raptors again in the guise of Rashawn Leonard, who nails the jumper over Sean Bradley to cut the gap to 4. But in the third still, tied at 62, here come Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki takes the ball down, drops home the three-pointer, gets a foul. It's a 4-point play. And Michael Finley, his teammate, followed his lead, spots up, down goes another 3, Mavs by 9. And in the fourth, the Mavs would bring it home. Steve Nash in the lane finds a wide-open Finley. That's another three-pointer. Mavs going on to win 106-92, and now they're the only unbeaten team.
Took their struggling selves and Shaquille O'Neal still out of the lineup to Boston on Thursday to meet the Celtics, who got out to a red-hot start. Look at that monster three-pointer from Shammond Williams. And Boston went into the break up by 15 at the half. Kobe Bryant, though, single-handedly led the Lakers back in the second half. Watch him fight through the screen to nail the jumper. A little later, how about this move from Kobe? The crossover dribble leads to another J. Then Kobe will pull up and hit yet another two-pointer. 18 in the third quarter for Bryant, 41 in the game. Lakers by 4 after 3, but with seconds remaining in regulation, Lakers lead by 2. Antoine Walker backs into the lane, gets the runner to fall. The game is tied at 89. On to overtime, where Paul Pierce lines up and hits the big 3 over Robert Horry. Boston in the lead. Pierce with 28 points. Seconds remaining now in overtime. Still a chance for Bryant to tie, but his attempt bounces off the rim. Celtics win. The Lakers have dropped 4 of their opening 6 games. Minnesota had hoped to keep the upper hand on Milwaukee, but it was the Bucks' Sam Cassell coming up the steal. The give ahead to Tim Thomas, who throws down the dunk. Later in the opening quarter, Ray Allen picks off the pass, breaks down court. The big reverse dunk puts the Bucks up by 5. Later, though, Kevin Garnett shows he does it on both ends of the court. First, the big dunk, part of a 28-point night. Then Garnett swats away Ray Allen. This game would go down to the wire. 4 seconds left. Minnesota's Kendall Gill stands at the line. He misses the free throw, but there's Garnett again, tipping the rebound out to his teammate. Literally, the T-Wolves hold on to win the game by 4. Minnesota's 7th straight victory over Michael Jordan and the Washington Wizards. Jordan came off the bench and did what he does best, hitting his patented jumpers both in the first and the second half. So season-high 25 points for Jordan. Later in the third, his teammate Jerry Stackhouse is just sizzling. Watch the hard one-handed slam. Then with time ticking down in the third quarter, Stackhouse with the miraculous double-pump jumper that goes in. Wizards by 14 after 3. But in the final period, back come the Lakers. Kobe Bryant nails the tough jumper in the lane. Rick Fox making the most of his first game back from a suspension with the sweet drive and the foul. Less than 10 seconds left. Robert Horry with the huge three-pointer from the corner. Lakers up 99-98. But Washington has one last chance, and they make the best of it. Stackhouse, the inbounds pass to Byron Russell. He gives it back to Stack for the game-winning dunk. Stackhouse with a game-high 29. The Wizards win by 1 to drop the 3-time defending NBA champions record to 2-5. Jordan's former team, the Chicago Bulls, had hoped to dash the Dallas Mavericks' red-hot start to the season. Chicago did come out firing, but it wouldn't last long. Dirk Nowitzki knocking down the 3 in the opening period. The big German led all Maverick scorers with 24 points. He was the star of the game. Watch the big European take the pass from Steve Nash for the 3. Nowitzki played only 3 quarters of this game, but it was certainly enough as Chicago drops their 4th in a row, while Dallas at 5-0 is the NBA's lone unbeaten team. Watch the pass. Gilbert's Arena. First the steal, Then the big throw off the backboard to Jason Richardson for the jam. Is that pretty or what? The Warriors didn't notch the victory, but they take the consolation prize, the play of the day. For NBA players from faraway lands, one of the first truly great international players in the Nigerian-born Olajuwon suited up in 18 NBA seasons before calling it quits just a month ago.
For number 34, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon!
On Saturday, the team in which he played all but one of his 18 seasons honored Olajuwon with an emotional retirement ceremony, which saw the center's number 34 rise to the rafters above the home courts of the Houston Rockets. Across the great state of Texas, which some say is a country all to itself, Dallas hosted Detroit, hoping to maintain early season perfection, and this one was all Mavs. Dirk Nowitzki, the German, burying... Actually, that's Eduardo Najera from Mexico, burying the slam, part of his 16-point night. Here's the German Nowitzki, the big three, part of a 12-point night for Dirk. Time winding down in the opening half. Michael Finley knocks down a tray of his own. Second half, more from Finley as he takes the ball away from the Pistons and goes coast to coast for the slam. 25 points for Finley. Mavs improved to an NBA best 6.
He's continued their best start in franchise history with another win on Monday night over the Portland Trail Blazers. Michael Finley was knocked to the ground there. No foul called, so Coach Don Nelson rushes on and draws the technical. Dallas did it with defense. Dirk Nowitzki made a career-high 6 steals, and he landed 26 points, 3 from the corner there, and he repeated the trick later in the second quarter as Dallas opened a 35-28 lead. Nowitzki was really in the thick of it. Here he triggers a fast break with a long pass to Finley, who gets in for the lay-in. Finley finished with 21 points on the night. He did well to recover the ball here in the third, and a great score from him as well as they edged Portland by 82-73, and they remain the only undefeated team in the NBA.
Could Kobe Bryant and company pull them into the winning column? Not by trailing by as many as 15 points early in the second half, but the Laker comeback was thwarted, at least temporarily, by Glenn Robinson. Watch the big dog go off from three-point range. Not once, but twice. Hawks boost their lead to 17. But in the fourth quarter, back come the Lakers. Brian Shaw leading the attack. There's a three-pointer from Shaw. Bryant, the dish to Shaw for another 3, and all of a sudden the Hawks lead is down to 2. But Atlanta too much down the stretch. Off the miss, Thea Ratliff goes over 4 different Laker players for the rebound of the dunk. Then it's Jason Terry with the big 3. The Lakers' losing streak is at 4, their longest in 7.5 years. On to the NHL. 7-0 starts, but Cuban would be a bit nervous as this game played out. Pick it up fourth quarter. Cavs center Zydrunas Agalis hitting the jumper from the outside. A career-high 34 points from the big man from Lithuania. Cleveland, in fact, maintained the advantage thanks in part to the big slam by Ricky Davis. But back at the other end, here come the Mavs behind Walt Williams. Watch as he gets the running one-hander from Steve Nash. The pass and inside to tie the game at 91. Then it's Nash, the Canadian, driving the lane to hit the runner. Mavs out in front, 93-91. They cling to a 1-point lead late in the game when Michael Finley drives the lane, gets the layup, part of a season-high 26 for Finley. Mavs win. They struggle for most of the game, but are able to improve to a league-best 8-0. Sacramento had hoped to keep the upper hand on Golden State in an all-California affair. Watch the great pass from Vlade Divac to Bobby Jackson, part of Jackson's 17-point nights. Kings by 16. More in the opening quarter. Chris Webber, one up and in. Sacramento now with a 17-point lead after 1. Warriors would get back into it, but Webber and company would keep them at bay. Divac to Webber. Sweeps. Kings out in front by 11. Then Jackson will miss. But here's Weber on the follow. Weber, the former Warrior, burns his old team for 33 as Sacramento beats Golden State for the 11th straight time. Here are Wednesdays this season, and Iverson went out to preserve that streak, at least early on. The three-pointer is launched in the opening period. Fast forward to the second half. More from Iverson, this time with the tough, off-balance shots. Sixers have a 15-point lead. But here come the Spurs, making a run late in the third quarter. Tim Duncan nails the turnaround jumper. The Sixers' advantage whittled to 2. Tony Parker in the fourth quarter hits the 3, and now the Spurs have an 81-80 lead. But the Sixers come right back. At the other end, they, of course, have the answer. Iverson, nice jumper there. 37 points on the night for Iverson. Sixers back in front. Aaron McKee then seals the deal with a pretty layup. Sixers improve to a perfect 5-0 at home. From the NBA to the NHL.
Unstoppable as he scored 35 points. Watch the strong drive to the hoop as he gets the dunk to go, even with a little deflection involved. More from T-Mac in the fourth quarter. Absorbs the contact, but still gets his lay-in to go. The Magic win big to improve to 6-3 on the year. In Washington, D.C., Michael Jordan turned back the clock as he helped the Washington Wizards beat the Utah Jazz. MJ scored a couple of key buckets in the fourth quarter on his way to a 19-point outing. The Wizards blew a 21-point lead early, but held on for their fourth win in the last 5 games. The veteran Jazz are now 3-6 on the season.
Milestone for China's Yao Ming early in his NBA career as Houston played in Phoenix. Rockets on the drive, but the big rejection underneath by Suns rookie Amir Stoudemire. Yao would get involved a little later in the opening half. Watch him roll to the hoop and wind up with the easy slam. A little later, Yao put 2 more on the board, part of a 10-point night as Yao Ming hits double figures for the first time in his young NBA career. The aforementioned Stoudemire this time goes to the hole, but check out Yao. He makes him look bad as he rejects the shots. Yao's night wasn't all fun and games. Here in the third, he guards Stephon Marbury. Marbury shakes him to the ground, and the Suns bench certainly got a good laugh out of this one as Yao was put on his backside by an NBA veteran. Time winding down in the game. There's Marbury again. This time goes to the hole, hits one off the glass. And that puts the Suns up by 1. One last chance for the Rockets, but no good. Time winds down on Yao Ming and the Houston Rockets on the road. From Indiana's game with Milwaukee. First, you've got the Bucks as they go strong to the hoop, tying the game at 92, and it would be on to overtime thanks to this beautiful pass underneath. Look at Artest, Ron Artest with the fantastic shot in overtime. Pacers have the lead. Both teams, though, get props for the play of the day.
At 1-7, need all the help they can get right now, and Sprewell did have flashes of brilliance as he scored 16 points. But it was Philadelphia who led throughout, and they hit several key shots down the stretch with Keith Van Horn putting in a rebound, making it a 2-point game. Knicks down 3 with 12 seconds to play. Howard Isley rims out the 3 to tie it up. Van Horn grabs the rebound, and that would do it. The Sixers handing the Knicks their 8th loss of the season.